As I'm recording this, it's the morning of December 17th, and according to Tesla, you can get one of their cars in your possession before the end of the year to take advantage of the full federal tax credit. Really? Now, this is nothing new really for Tesla, as usually toward the end of the quarter, they're always trying to make that final push for sales. So they use any kind of incentive that they can. So now that we're less than 2 weeks away from the end of the year, and of course the tax credit, the federal tax credit for Tesla will drop by half, they want to do everything they can to help people take advantage of that full tax credit. So what prompted me to do this video is I received an email from my sales rep a couple of days ago. And here's what it said. He said, "Hi, Mike. The $7,500 tax credit expires December 31st. Let your friends and family know and give them 6 months of free unlimited supercharging. If they order now, we'll make sure the car gets delivered before the end of the year. Forward this email and share this link." And of course, it's my referral code. And I remember thinking, how is that even possible? So then I went to the Tesla website, and sure enough, I go on there, and of course has all the different Teslas, right? You've got the Model 3, the Model S, the Model X, all of the different cars, and all of them say this at the very top. Model 3, for example, $7,500 tax credit expires December 31st. Order now for 2018 delivery. So I go to order now, right? I go ahead and click that. Now, usually, of course, in the past, what they'll do is they'll give you some kind of projected date, 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 months, something along the lines, sometimes even close to a specific date. But now it doesn't even show that on there. All it says right above the car as you're configuring it says, federal tax credit, $7,500 tax credit expires December 31st. Order now for 2018 delivery. So again, they're pushing this. And it's not just the website, but it's the sales representative telling me that as well. Now, I have yet to hear back from the sales rep, but one of the questions I asked them a couple of questions. Number one, is that guarantee that you can get it by the end of the year? And if you don't, can you go ahead and get a full refund, maybe take the car back? And I can only assume that if it's being delivered, that it would take longer to get to folks on the East Coast as opposed to the West Coast. So what are the discrepancies in that as well? So I started asking these questions. Of course, again, I haven't heard back from him just yet. But I started asking these questions and I thought, well, let me see if there's any more information out there. And actually came across an article by a website called evbyte.com. Now, I've never heard of them before, but they came up with some pretty good points. I'll, of course, give you links or a link to that article that I'm talking about from evbyte. And, of course, the headline of this is, "Could Tesla's end-of-year push backfire?" And then, of course, they updated it as well. And you know, they of course addressed what I was talking about just earlier, but another thing, they brought up a couple of other good points, and one of those was asking the question, when do you officially take ownership of the car? I mean, is it when it's in your garage? Is it when it's delivered to your garage or in your driveway? Is it when you're at the Tesla store and you sign all the papers? Is that when you officially take over ownership of the car? Well, technically it comes down to the title. So this is when things really start getting complicated, because it's not just federal that we're talking about, but then it comes down to the state law. And I really don't want to go into too much detail as far as what all of that means. It's probably a good idea for you maybe to read both the articles to really get a full understanding. But basically, here's what Tesla has to say. Now, it's basically kind of a quote here that says, "A customer's qualification of the federal EV credit is dependent on when they take delivery of the vehicle." I mean, and that's pretty much it. So then it kind of goes on to say, while the tax credit exists in some form through the end of 2019, those who want the full $7,500 tax credit will need to take delivery of their vehicle by the end of this year. And of course, they always say, please remember your eligibility for income tax credit depends on your personal tax situation. They recommend speaking to a tax professional for guidance. So essentially what Tesla is saying is, if you take possession of the car, physically possession of the car, you're all clear. You will qualify for that federal tax credit. So then the next question is, well, how? How can they deliver a car to you in less than 2 weeks? And it sounds to me that what's happened is this, is that there are an excess of cars that are still out there due to a number of reasons. And number one, due to cancellations. And in fact, we take a look at a tweet from Elon Musk. This was on December 11th. And he says, important to note for U.S. Tesla buyers, federal tax credit drops by $3,750 in 3 weeks. Now, to be on the cancellation wait list for delivery this year, or if you want a display car, order at Tesla.com or visit our stores. Full refund if Tesla can't deliver your car this year. And again, that's important to take note. The full refund if Tesla can't deliver your car this year. But again, going back to how they can give you or get you a car before the end of the year, again, it sounds like it's that cancellation or any demo car, a car that's been in the showroom, or a car that they've used for test drives. All of these things are being taken into consideration, that when you go online, there's a very good chance that if you put in your configuration, that will already be a car out there that is available for you to take home from their showroom or from wherever. They can maybe even get it delivered to you. But that's kind of what it looks like right now based on Elon Musk's tweet there from December 11th. And again, that's important to note. Full refund if Tesla can't deliver. So it sounds to me that if you're on the fence and you are now kind of at last minute, you may want to start thinking about what you want to do, because if Tesla will refund your money, if they don't get it to you before the end of the year, then you have nothing to lose, and it still may be a good idea to try to get in on that full federal tax credit. So as usual, I'd love to hear what you all have to say. Do you think this is Tesla just grasping at straws, doing whatever they can to make that sale before the end of the quarter? Is this something that's going to completely flop? Are they going to be able to deliver on their promises? You know, this is something that's been talked about for quite some time, this deadline, right? And that several months ago, it was your last chance. And then it was your last chance again. And then it was your last chance one more time after that. But it feels like this truly is that last chance. And if you're one of those people who is on the fence, you may want to start thinking about what it is you're going to do if you do indeed want to take advantage of that full federal tax credit. If not, you only get to take half of that as you go into next year. So again, I'd love to hear what you all have to say about this. Can Tesla deliver on their promise and give you or get you a car before the end of the year? Well, that's it for now. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you liked it even more than just giving it a thumbs up, then you can subscribe to my channel. And if you are thinking about buying a Tesla, or even know someone about buying a Tesla and maybe trying to get one before the end of the year, you can use my referral code. I'll of course put that at the bottom of this video, and you can click that link directly to use that referral code, and you will get 6 months of free supercharging, unlimited supercharging at that. So once again, thank you all so much for watching, and stay positively charged.